Now to a story you will only see right here on CBS 46. A South Georgia cemetery under fire right now for separating where blacks and whites are buried.
And today the mayor of the town joined protesters demanding change. His town is Camilla, Georgia, more than 200 miles southwest of Atlanta. Investigative reporter Karen Greer has a story you'll see only on CBS 46. So Karen, what does the mayor have planned?
Well, Ben, the mayor is asking for the nation to help him make some changes in the small town of Camilla. Mayor Rufus Davis, who's black, says he wants the cemetery desegregated and he won't attend a city council meeting until it's done.
Racial segregation in Camilla must end.
Rufus Davis is the mayor of Camilla, Georgia.
We are engaging in a nonviolent protest by sitting out of council meetings.
Mayor Davis is leading this protest of his city. The population in Camilla is estimated about 5,100 in 2016, with a majority, 70% of the residents, African American. The Oakview Cemetery is where people living in this small town are buried, but the mayor says this fence separates blacks from whites. And he adds there are no records for the blacks buried here, and some of the plots have been destroyed.
All blacks that have ever been buried are buried there. There are no records. So if you had a relative that is buried on that side, unless someone could show you where their body is buried, you would never find out.
The city manager says that's not true. They do not discriminate based on race. The cemetery is maintained by the city. Once again, this is Mayor Davis saying he will not attend a city council meeting until that cemetery is desegregated. Karen Greer, CBS 46 News.
That's a wild story. So we just heard from Karen Greer that the mayor of Camilla, Georgia, taking a stand in that community. But there is a lot more brewing in this small southern town. We want to bring in CBS 46 political analyst and radio show host Rashad Ritchie. Rashad, first of all, you're the guy who really has broken this story. Talk to us about Camilla. This is a story that's getting national headlines now, but a lot of people had no idea this is going on.
When I got wind of this a few days ago, I thought it was quite unbelievable. Let me give you the setting of Camilla, Georgia. This is the place of white and black proms. This is the place where every white school-aged child goes to one private school and black children go to the public school. This is the place where if you're black, you cannot be buried next to a white individual. When it was attempted, the city exhumed the body, took the black guy to the other side of the cemetery. So now the mayor is fighting back. This guy has a law degree. He's been on Wall Street, but he's a native of Camilla, Georgia.
So he knows what it's been like there.
He knows it.
He's not coming in from the outside.
I asked him today, Ben. I said, why did you go back to Camilla?
Yeah.
You were successful. You were doing your thing in New York. Why? He said, Rashad, I wanted to go back to make my mama proud. His mother is 75 years old. There's a fence that separates black people and white people on the cemetery. There are no African-American police officers, and it is a 70% African-American city.
So when you hear those numbers, a lot of it doesn't make any sense at all, right? How does this work? And if you have a black mayor and 70% of the population is black, how are they being run roughshod over by this much smaller population? You mentioned before we jumped on here, it has what's called a weak form of mayoral government, right?
Correct.
The city manager essentially is the one who actually has
the city
power.
manager, based on their form of government, and this was voted in years ago by the city council. The city manager runs day-to-day operations, police chief, everything else. So the mayor, in his current status, he's not able to have more power than the city manager.
Yeah, in that kind of a situation, because Atlanta does not have that. We have a strong
We have an executive mayor.
Yeah, a city manager controls, as you said, the police force, the police chief hiring, the fire chief, everything. Where do we go from here? We got about 15 seconds. Where do we go from here?
So the mayor, he's asking for national attention. That started yesterday. After we broke the story, everybody's been on top of this. He is protesting his own government. He refuses to go to another city council meeting until his city is integrated.
Fascinating stuff.
Yes.
Rashad Ritchie, again, you're the guy who broke this. I know you stay on top of it.
Staying on top of it.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Tracy?
you.